Some people might get this one. So they're gonna have to show me all the different ways to do 3/4, and then they're gonna do 1/2.
My name is Veronica Flores and I teach a 4th grade class.
You can use the marker, but I would suggest you use pencil before.
At Cal State Northridge, the program entirely transformed my idea of the way math should be taught.
Veronica is a graduate of our Freshman Option program. She's matriculated through the math courses, the math methods courses, and student teaching. She's one of the 9 program graduates that we're following this year to see what parts of the program influenced them in becoming teachers.
The program at CSUN taught me how to teach these students. So by evaluating my teaching, you can see the strengths and the weaknesses, and that can transfer back to other students who are now learning to be teachers.
We want to know what their struggles are. Are there struggles that they're having that we did not anticipate? And do we need to go back and improve the program?
Principally, when you look at people who come into colleges these days, you've got a paradox, particularly in California, where they do well on high school achievement tests in math and in English. They are testing out and moving on to college, but they come here and they do poorly. The only answer to that is working with the schools to produce better quality students, and we do that by producing better quality teachers.
Teachers for a New Era is a bold and ambitious effort to strengthen K-12 teaching by transforming university-based teacher education. Cal State Northridge was one of the first 4 institutions selected to participate. The project is the institution's, and AED's role is to provide technical support and guidance.
Well, we started working probably 6 years ago now as part of Teachers for a New Era, with math professors in the math department who were teaching the Math for Teachers classes. We started looking at what was happening to our sophomores. Then as they started matriculating into the higher level math classes and the math methods classes that they take as juniors, we tried to analyze what kinds of experiences were they having, what knowledge base were they coming away with.
Okay, anything else? What else things called, Daniel? A part of the whole thing? Okay, parts.
Well, the CSUN education program actually made us solve these problems. They actually challenged our thinking in mathematics. The first time I actually had to struggle, and I remember now with my students when they're struggling, I remember the same feeling as to struggle to get these concepts and understand why math works.
Now we have our first year of graduates in their first year of teaching. So we're now studying those grads to see what do they think about when they lesson plan, what do they see when they see children in their classrooms struggling to learn math, and how do they make this whole process unfold in their own classrooms.
Well, in fractions I noticed that many of my students understood the different parts and what made up a fraction, but they didn't understand an equivalent fraction. So I decided that they needed to visualize it and actually put it together and build that knowledge themselves. And so I pulled lessons from the different books that I received during my classes at CSUN. I developed some lessons for the different levels I had in my class and the different understandings that I knew they had.
When teachers are more aware of how students learn, of how they pace themselves, and their styles of learning, we can have a bigger impact on the students themselves.
So let me pass these around. You can kind of look over.
What we've done here with AED is we've brought AED into our consultative process. So when we think about conceptualizing, one of the principles of TNE, we've always used AED as a sounding board.
We worked with Carnegie and with AED for the simple reason that they were bringing to the table an immense number of intellectual resources. The people who had experience in working with teachers, people who knew about value-added methodologies, people who had a great deal of experience working in clinical sites. In this case, what we want to do is bring the best social scientists to the table so we can work together and learn from them.
We've moved from involvement to engagement. And so now it's not just well, yeah, we're training teachers. We think a lot more how the whole picture of training a teacher should be.